a few treats to buy their worship, and they call it kindness. How undignified to be reduced to begging for scraps like a dog.
Dignity doesn't count for much in the face of hunger.
Yet no man can live by bread alone.
And yet none can live without it.
You're a clever girl, Senora. But I hear from your accent you are no local. So what brings you to San Paulo? Business, ne? I have some business myself in the favelas.
Colombia, senor. And no, only a visit. To the San Paulo Veterans Residence. It's a safe place. If you find yourself in trouble, you should seek it out.
Oh, is it now? Thank you. You're very kind to offer. Care for a game of dice, señorita?
What's the bet?
Well, let us bet against the goodness in one another. Let us say that the loser will cover the cost of all the food given to all the little vendedores today. In the winner's name, of course.
That's no small wager, senor. Still, I appreciate the good game. High-low then. Who goes first?
Ladies first.
Low.
Let's make it more interesting. 6. If it rolls anything else, you win. Do you mind? I lost, just as was meant to be. So then, I am to be the vehicle of grace today. Might I have your name, Senora? So that all may know the name which is to be sung in paradise today.
Carlota Lopez Rivera. But it is Lopera, should you ask after me.
That's an interesting die you have there.
It was only luck. What's going on?
Do as I say, all of you!
Look, Vertin. There are some more river cowboys over there.
I'm afraid they seem more like river pirates. Stay back, Sotheby. What do you want?
Where's the captain? We're changing destinations. The ship will be docking in the favela now. Or we'll blow it all to bits.
Get out of the way!
Hold your fire, Lopera. There are oil drums on board.
Ugh, slimy rats.
Together to conquer this great waste. No,
Tristes Tropiques.
Bask in the sunlight.
A mice pass.
Under attack. Charging. Loading. Charging. Eliminate target. Loading. Flash in the water. The light that illuminates all.
The show is over, but the loneliness persists.
Lepera!
Either we go to the favela or to the bottom of the river. Claro? Make your call.
The favela? Are you with the Apostles' Brotherhood?
Huh?
They forced you into doing this, didn't they? Hijack the ship and bring it to us. Is that right? Too bad for you. This ship won't be making any unplanned detours today. Estúpidos! Get down! Blazebusters?
Lifeboats! Get to the lifeboats now!
God help us! This is hell!
Hold the railings! Stay on the deck!
Let go, Sotheby! You need to jump now! Join Lepera!
Martin! Somebody, please get her! She's still...
Can't have you dying here. Why do we keep meeting in these awkward situations? consider my debt paid.
So, but you handled the water better this time. You controlled your breathing, kept your airways clear, and this time, you remembered to lie back and float. Does it matter? I'm all you've got. We're at war. Bullets flying, wounds festering, typhoid, cholera, and all the worst of it. It's a living hell, and only fools think there's any honor in it. You never expect to see a familiar face again. Not in times like these. Now I need you to listen. There's something you should know. The raid on the river was a ploy, and its mastermind is an old acquaintance. As for the ones who carried it out, you already heard about them this morning. They promised their followers they'd push south, and they did. With their supplies secured by a mysterious third party, they paraded through every town along the way, playing as liberators and taking out anyone they decided were their enemies. They swelled in numbers, larger than any local gang or cult had ever gotten before. Now they swarm across the land like a school of red-bellied piranhas, always hungry, ready to tear apart anything that crosses their path. Chances are they're doing fine, just like you. Would have been nice if you caught what that little executioner and that gold-hearted gambler were talking about during their dice game. Guess you'll have to ask her later. Listen, I'm not here to run your errands or play your messenger boy, so ask nicely. There's nothing more I need to tell you, for now.
The Brotherhood just took a beating from Zeno. If they're caught up with their own trouble, then we might have a golden opportunity to turn the people against them. We can't lose anyone else to their lies. What do you say? Want to talk about plans?
Here, drink up.
Thanks. Listen, as much as I enjoy being out here all day, we've got to take action now. The sooner the better. Don't you think?
Hold your horses, young Elena.
Let me explain. Say I throw a punch at you now. Really hit you good. What next? Maybe you'll storm off at first. Then you round up your cousins. Maybe grab that Tommy gun you borrowed from Colonel Tiargo. Then you'll find me, all alone, and say, "You're done, you old fart!" I'm not gonna harm you, kid. And if ever I do, remember that old Duncan must have his reasons, and he'd never harm a friend intentionally.
What is all that supposed to mean?
I'm rambling. I mean, true enough that Lopere hit them hard, and we both know that the Brotherhood will aim to settle that score. And they won't wait long. But if we don't play this smart, it'll only cause them to lash out more. Still, we do have to consider one thing. Those who chose to follow them never come back.
No. They don't.
So, let's seize the day. Grab opportunity by the horns, and maybe we stop losing more of our friends to those bastards. Right now, seems to me that Zeno is our best bet.
That just might work, old man. With the Brotherhood falling apart, Zeno will start to look pretty good to folks here.
But not so fast, kid. We need a little patience. Let the line out a little first. If you fail to prepare, you're prepared to fail. Got it! Excellent! don't think you can get away from me! Huh. You like to wrestle, huh? All right, let's see who gets the upper hand. Old Duncan is not about to lose a battle to a fish!
Arthur! Do you see the size of its belly? It's huge!
What a deal! Catch one, get one free. How generous, Mother River. All right, jokes aside, Galeno. Come on, help me get her out.
This has got to be the strangest thing you've ever fished out from the river.
Duncan! Duncan!
Duncan, look! She's got an anaconda chasing after her!
I saw it. Don't you worry. Hang in there, Lopera. Come this way, we'll get you. Here, take it.
Thank goodness you were here to grab me. But what are you doing all the way out here?
I was wondering the same thing about you, girl. Seems like a strange place for a swim. I suppose you wouldn't know anything about the girl we just fished out over there.
Sotheby! Hey, can you hear me?
Easy now, Lopera. We just cut her out of that fish's belly. You're a veritable Jonah, aren't you?
I dreamt of a very, very big fish, and I was in its belly. It was as wide as the sky. I couldn't breathe. A terribly strange dream, Mr. Carson.
She's awake!
Mr. Carson? You... How? There's a little dirt on me. Here, and on the collar too. Oh, goodness. Why am I here? What? Could it really be you, Mr. Carson?
Carson? You must be mistaken, little lady. My name is Duncan. I'm a friend of Lopera.
That's right. Sotheby, this is Duncan from the Veterans Residence. We've known each other for a long time. You must be confusing him with someone else.
Now, up on your feet, little lady.
Mr. Carson! Oh, sorry. It's just... I didn't expect you to suddenly pull my arm.
Pardon me, little lady. We tend to be very straightforward here in the favela.
It's quite all right. Only... No, I just don't understand. You look exactly like Mr. Carson. How could you be anyone else? Except for your attire. And those shoes. And the liquor?
Oh, pardon me, little miss. Are you not comfortable with us drinking? Galeno, put the cup away for me, please.
No, I only meant... Mr. Carson, it truly seems as though you've forgotten everything. Oh, but I'm being terribly unladylike. Still, you don't seem to mind at all.
I must be a dead ringer for this guy to have gotten you all flustered, little miss. Seems like you cared very deeply for this Mr. Carson.
Yes, I did. So then, you really aren't him.
Sorry to disappoint, little lady. But I'm flattered by the resemblance. Maybe I can be your friend too. In fact, feel free to call me Carson. Why not? A rose by any other name, eh?
Mr. Carson.
I know how hard it can be. I lost my wife, and my comrade in arms. I even managed to lose his daughter, after I promised to take care of her. She'd have been just about your age. I'm rambling again. I suppose what I'm saying is, I know what it feels like to lose someone you love.
Oh no. But what about Miss Burton? We've lost her. Where could she be now? We must find her.
Slow down. We need to think things through first. Those knuckleheads blew up the entire ship. Which means our comms belong to the Caymans now.
Not to worry. I've been through worse. Back in '82 on the Rio Negro... Before I go rambling on again, let's head back to the city. Come on now. Trust good old Duncan. Sorry, I mean Carson. Trust Carson to lead the way.
I've never wanted to put San Paulo through this chaos. Order, peace, unity. Those are my purposes. Much has been wagered here, Marcando. Much. Now it has been lost.
Your Reverence, it was Zeno. Those animals. We'll make them pay for what they did. Is that why you've decided to grace us with your presence, Your Reverence? There is a lot to do if we're going to recover the ground I've lost, Your Reverence. And there's something more. A new doctor down at the veterans' residence. Some blind woman. I would not bother you with it, Lord Santos. Except that she's been helping people in the favela, and it is swaying them towards Zeno.
Then this doctor is with Zeno.
She must be. She's always at the veterans' residence. Spends most of the day with those old war dogs.
A doctor gaining the trust of the people in the favela. She'd make quite the prize, wouldn't you say, Marcando? A much more valuable bargaining chip to Zeno than a few deserters. You will see this task through, Marcando. But before that... we need to pay a visit to the favela. I've brought us some new blood.
See? Just like this. Wrap the wire around it. Better do it twice. And align the red and black. Slowly.
Unbelievable!
It's science, kids. Nothing unbelievable about it.
I don't know how to thank you, Duncan.
Admiral, Lopera just called in.
Put her through.
Lopera, it's me. What happened?
Our ship was sunk. Miss Sotheby and I washed ashore near the favelas. As for the timekeeper, she went overboard. We lost sight of her in the commotion. Her current status is unknown.
We'll send people to find her and escort her to the veterans' residence.
Additionally, Lieutenant, I have some fresh recruits eager to enroll with Zeno. But they will need the Admiral's assurances that their families will be under our protection.
They have it. What's their ETA?
They'll leave at once.
Hera.
That little hothead.
Sir, your orders.
Leave the matter to me, Mulder. I will send someone to take care of this.
What did the Admiral say?
He agreed.
Did you hear that? Zeno will protect us!
I have no doubt. They were working for the Brotherhood.
The Apostles' Brotherhood. They've bounced back quicker than I'd hoped. Still, we need to be cautious. Figure out just what they're after.
That guy looks familiar. That's him. He was on the ship with me.
The Brotherhood has experienced a setback, yes, as all great causes do. But we will rise again, for we serve the one true purpose. Hear me now, brothers and sisters, fellow Arcanists. Our days of anguish and deprivation are over. The Sufferer will walk among us once more, and we will bask in their divine grace. The day of triumph draws near. Soon our wagers will pay off. All will reap what we have sown. You only need stand with us and take their blessings. In return for this, they ask only for your unwavering allegiance. My brothers and sisters, speak. What do you seek?
Senor, please. We only want to see our family again. Since they've joined the Brotherhood, we've had no word. We haven't seen or heard from them at all.
But you will see them again soon. I tell you that they are even now faithfully serving our kind in a new land of prosperity. They're in Ushuaia, in Antarctica, in all places where the past and the future converge. There will be no more poverty, no more hatred, no more chaos. We shall reclaim what's rightfully ours. Remember this. Humans are vile and sinful creatures. They tortured our men and women, leaving our children to cry in hunger and desperation. But they've already played their hand. All their reason, their science, and their despicable organizations. They raise these rotten edifices to weaken us and leech off of our misfortunes, to blind us from our true purpose. But no longer. Soon their games will be over, and every injustice and oppression they've held over our people will be returned tenfold. All that they've built will crumble down over their heads. Tell me, my fellow brothers and sisters, what is evil? Evil is the absence of good, and to find what is good is to follow our path. The High One has promised us strength and glory. Come with me!
That's a Manus mask.
Sorrow will weaken you, and fear may seize your hearts. Instead, let faith be your guide. Those who take that leap shall find themselves lifted up on the Apostles' wings, while those who hesitate will be scorched by the fires at their feet. I have said all that must be said. We'll meet again here in 3 days' time.
Don't listen to him! He's a lunatic!
And just who are you?
Marcando. As students of the truth, we have been granted a much stronger weapon than violence.
Lopera, follow my lead. Sir, please forgive her. She has mistaken you for those pirates on the Tiete River.
So just a misunderstanding then? I'm no lunatic after all?
Yes, Your Reverence. She came across a terrible raid on her way here, you see. The poor girl was left terrified.
Well, I'll need more than a few words to convince my friends we have not been insulted.
I'm an old man with nothing to give you but the truth. Believe me, sir, I came all this way just for you. I want to join the Brotherhood. She didn't mean to offend any of the gentlemen here. Please, sir, she's only a kid.
Of course. I try never to take offense at a sweet young lady. However, if I'm to believe you, I will need you to up your ante to prove you are worthy, sir.
If that's what you need, Lord, allow me to sweeten the deal. See that guy over there? His name is Galeno. He's been recruiting for Zeno. He told me so himself.
Duncan?
Bring the young man closer, Marcando.
Are you out of your mind? Don't touch me!
Come together to conquer this great wave. Experience
Charging, loading.
Keep up the pace.
Aim and shoot. The light that illuminates all. Easy there. Charging.
Planting handy.
Target confirmed.
Loading. Next progress. Flash in the water.
Faraday's miracle. Shell. Damage. Third charging.
Handy.
I, Robot, Child of Science. And now to return to my long-term mission. Rest.
Let's go.
I admire your courage. But bravery alone won't protect you from harm. Tell me, son, is what he said the truth of it? Now, you'll give me the names of Zeno's new recruits. Who are they?
Everyone! Every man and woman in this city that still has a shred of integrity!
I'm not gonna harm you, kid. And if ever I do, remember that old Duncan must have his reasons, and he'd never harm a friend intentionally.
This young man has one day to think it through. He will give us his names. Or he will give us his eyes and tongue as offerings. Mr. Duncan, let this task be set on you. Prove your...
It will be my honor, Your Reverence.
or he will give us his eyes and tongue as offerings. Mr. Duncan, let this task be set on you. Prove yourself worthy of our trust. Marcando, you'll stay with them. Don't forget what I told you earlier.
This place was once known for its inexhaustible mines, the riches of its rainforests, and its brave and passionate people. But now, the first two are gone. Chaos and power struggles loom over the younger generation, while the rich and well-connected sit atop their piles of corpses and rubble and feast, dining off golden plates with silver spoons, turning their noses up from the dogs at their feet. But that gold has lost its shine, and their silver spoons have tarnished. Everyone can see them for what they really are. So, what now? Either the people save themselves, or turn their fate over to the hands of the so-called savior. What would you do, if it were you? Who's asking the questions here? Me or you? But fine. I'll clue you in a little about this savior. I once met a kid from Buenos Aires who told me about the hand of God that gave them the World Cup. He saw it as proof there was a higher power, something men should follow and seek protection from. Maybe he had a point, I don't know. Maybe there's truly something greater out there, or maybe it's just what we mortals need to believe. These men from the Apostles' Brotherhood used to be regular churchgoers just like anybody else. But faced with an opportunity to rise above their own cruel realities, they all too readily turned away. They left all their altars and took communion with a new god. Will this new path save them? Is it worth all their efforts? I can't say. But you wanted to know if this savior can save its own. Well, I guess you've got your answer now. No need to start panicking just yet. Things are still under control. Your lady friend has stepped up to solve this mess, and the veteran knows what he's doing. This city is unlike any you've seen before. You must learn its secrets to survive. Remember which street kids are from which alley, and what intel they can be relied on for. Learn the dates when the dealers bring their medicine into port, and figure out which water tanks hide the key to the local gang's safe house. Don't look at me for answers. It's none of my business.
In the narrow streets, violence is so often more than just a means to ending conflicts. It is a tool, and one all too readily used. I must note, however, with some relief that segregation so commonly observed in other regions is absent here. The Arcanists of Sao Paulo live alongside humans, with the latter often displaying traits more common to their Arcanist neighbors. Passionate, if a bit touchy. Life here is incomparable to the comfort, security, and freedom of New England. Hardship, violence, and oppression are the fundamentals of life. As constant as the sun, and as heavy as the rain. This country is renowned for its coffee and sugar. It is a land of beauty and bounty. Treasures too often extorted, whether by the princes of Europe and their donatarios, or now by the bankers and corporations. Despite all the centuries of treasures extracted from the land, desperation remains everywhere you look. It is a place where insurmountable wealth and the deepest deprivations are neighbors. Sometimes they lie only a street across from one another. The multinationals have cut open the country's throat, and now they drink it dry, leaving the people struggling with poverty and chaos. It is a bleak existence. Dear readers, I share this with you so the story of these people might be heard. Shippy, do you know, has life always been like this here?
If you ask me, Doc, San Paulo in 1990 isn't much different from Nassau's 1681.
It's a shame. Between the sunshine and warm sands, there is a good life to be lived here, if only they were free enough to live it. I used to dream of traveling to all sorts of fascinating places. A foggy city by the Thames, and a little town blanketed in snow and sunflowers. I met so many different people, though I find I can no longer recall their voices. I have only their words left, only my records of them.
Have you heard of a weed down at the bottom of Lake Ilapango? The people there turn it into a polenta with cornmeal. Supposedly, if you have it, you'd recall every last thing that's ever happened to you. Every bit of it.
Whoa! What's a weed called?
They call it La Hierba del Tonto, Spanish for the fool's weed. You see, lad, only a fool would want to remember everything. Sometimes a little forgetfulness is a blessing in disguise.
I beg to differ, Shippy. To forget the past, its lessons in pain and joy alike, that isn't a blessing. It's oblivion. But let's not argue over some mythical weed. For all the claims, no one has ever seen it. Just another myth, like the succubus or the minotaur.
Aye, aye, let's talk about succubi instead. That's sure to get the lads pricking up their ears. Back in 88, I mean 1688 of course, Our chief mate, Mr. Morgan, had an encounter with a succubus after he found her seal while carousing in Portobello. If the rumors tell true, once he got a hold of it, she grabbed a hold on him too. I couldn't say what transpired, but we never saw hide nor hair of him again.
Look over there! Something's in the water!
What the devil is all that commotion?
Hey, wake up! Hey, stay with me! Can you hear me? Hello?
She's still breathing. Why won't she wake up?
Whew. What happened to the lass?
Miss, are you all right? Is there anything we can do?
Yes, I'm fine. The ship went down.
Blow me down. These waters are getting rougher by the day.
And we drifted down the river until we reached the shore here. I know she's traveling with her friends, but I don't know where they could be now. Everything happened so fast.
Shippy, what's going on? Are there people that need care? What's their condition?
Just one, alas. She's still breathing, but she looks like she's been keelholed for a bit too long.
Miss, please lay her down on her side.
What are you going to do to her?
Save her, if I can. Good, good. She'll make it. Please, make sure her airway's clear.
Are you sure about that, Doc? The lass looks paler than a ghost. I think she's burning up.
You're right. We'll need to take her back with us. I'll fix some medicine for her. Would you give me a hand, miss? Help her up on my back. Oh. She's almost as light as a child. I need to run some tests and see if it's just an ordinary fever, or if she has contracted something from the water. Don't worry. You're safe with us.
Where are we going? Wait up!
Home. So you weren't even traveling together. And still you brought her all the way here. You have a good heart, Miss Kimberly.
You flatter me, Doctor. It was only that the current pushed her to my side when we all fell into the water. And I just couldn't forgive myself if I were to let her drown. In fact, she and I had met briefly before, in Texas. We didn't part on the best terms.
Sometimes, we find ourselves in quarrels, even among friends.
No, we aren't.
Shh. We should let her get some rest.
May I touch her?
Fever is one of the biggest dangers here, though it's still better than diarrhea and vomiting. I'll take her to the veterans' residence for further treatment once her condition stabilizes.
It almost looks like she's only sleeping.
Are you two really not friends? Seems to me that you care for her very much.
She helped me. She was kind to me on the ship. The bloody ship. I don't know what happened.
Shh. Hush, please.
My apologies. As I said, it was only twice that we'd met. And somehow, both times turned out quite terrible for me.
Her hair is so silky. It's smooth and soft, like fine rain in my hands.
First it was Tuesday's motel. Things there turned into a right mess, and I didn't find what I'd lost. Then, in that manner, just as I was about to enjoy a bit of dinner, that wild girl burst in. They caught me, threw me into a tower, and locked me up. I was stuck there, waiting like a lamb to be slaughtered.
But you've made it through. You're safe with us. No one is going to hurt you here.
Thank you, Doctor. Goodbye.
Leaving your friends so soon, lass? Well, come as you are. I'll give you a lift. Perhaps we might have a bit of an old jaw along the way. After all, it's rare indeed to see one of your kind out and about these days.
A lift? Pardon me, madam, but I'm not sure you could bring me anywhere. You're a little too small and a little too stuck in that bottle.
Climb aboard, matey. So where's our heading? Or shall we go for a ride on the river? Don't be shy, I aim to make a friend of you. Don't be shy. I let the little ones play on my deck all the time, climbing here and there, like a bunch of cheerful little monkeys. And not just them. I ferry the good doctor from here to the veterans' residence, too. You'll have to wait till we reach the sea to see me at my full size. Once the water opens up, that's when I'm really free. Now, I ask again, where are we going, mate? Can't just let the wind decide our course.
Why not? I should like to go somewhere nobody will ever find me.
I'm afraid there's precious few places like that anymore, lass. I've spied the globes they've got nowadays. Seems like every last step has covered the four corners and back. But aren't you a strange sight, lass? You know, I've seen your kind before. Beautiful to look at, aye. But there's a darkness in you that lies beneath the surface, isn't there? But you're not like the rest of them, you'd say. Well, I would sooner believe in a map to El Dorado before I'd swallow the idea of a succubus with a heart of gold. So, is that girl your master? Did she have your seal? If that were true, then heart of gold or coal wouldn't matter for none. You'd be as thick as old tar. What? Are you wondering what gave you away? Your gloves don't do much to hide those claws. I could feel them pressing on my railings as soon as you hopped on. No use hiding them now, matey.
You! Are you going to turn me in?
Turn you in? And how do you suppose I do that? I'm only a ruddy ship. Bring me back up on land and I'll be stuck right back in the bottle. No, lass. I've sailed with rougher folks than you. My old captain had a bounty on her head, too.
Well, just so you know, I very much doubt they'll pay you anything for handing me over.
Maybe so, maybe so. Now, you've got the law in your tailwind. What happened? Did you spring loose from the old gibbet? Mark me now, young lass. If you're going to try to pull one over on me, you'll have to do a lot better job than that.
Are you mocking me? This is not how one ought to treat a new friend.
Quite right, lass. So then, who are your pursuers? And your master? Shouldn't you be under his protection? My old crew would say any captain that can't keep a ship safe is only good for bait.
I have no idea where he is, or where my seal is for that matter. He was a no-good fool, though. Or only good for bait, perhaps. I hope he's dead, rotting in some sewer back in San Francisco.
Aye, well, mortal flesh doesn't last long. I've ferried many a passenger in my days, and none yet have escaped when Davy Jones came calling their name. As I recall, the first that went was William Halfleg. He lost the other half in a fight at the port of Southampton, hanged on the governor's orders. And Edward the Red Hand, a nasty piece of work from the Low Countries, loved a bit of throat-cutting, until he got his own throat slit by some fool in a ramshackle pub on Tortuga.
Sounds as though they got what they deserved.
That they did, lass. They all got what they deserved. Some hanged, some drowned, some we marooned on a desert isle with naught but a pistol and a flagon of rum. I've been to Plymouth, Nassau, Port Royal. I once even slipped into Seville disguised as a merchantman to smuggle pepper and cinnamon. Wherever the captain wanted to go, we sailed. But one by one, Davy took them all. Now here I am. A ship without a captain. My own master. I suppose that's a lot to take in. You ever thought about living a different life? To set sail for some far corner of the sea? Living on spiced rum and jerky thick as a buccaneer's hide. How's that sound, lass? Not that I'm saying we set sail today. It's only a bit of old fancy.
I really can't say, Chibi. I suppose I can't. Not yet, at least. There's something important I need to retrieve.
That's Captain White Rum to you. The ship of a captain and captain of the ship.
I prefer... Wait. Sorry. What did you...
Seasick? I hadn't thought your kind capable of it.
I didn't expect this, either. What now?
Caramba! I like this girl, she's feisty. What with the Brotherhood, Gorota? You apologize, now we might just let you go. Don't you know that Lord Santos is back? We can make this rougher for you if you like.
Careful, me lads. I wouldn't pull those knives. Things may go rougher than you'd bargained for.
Nothing unexpected. For now.
Tristes Tropiques. Bask in the sunlight.
Conventional choice.
The light that illuminates all. Under attack. Shell. Damage. Under attack.
Handy.
Loading.
Plan A. A mice pass.
Aim and shoot.
Conventional choice.
Shell. Damage. Experience knowledge. Tristes Tropiques. Charging.
Devote yourselves to one another. Keep up the pace.
Barrage.
The show is over, but the loneliness persists.
Not so tough now, are you, boys? Try this again, and I'll make a mince out of what's left of you.
I know your fathers, me boys, and I think they wouldn't be none too happy to hear you claiming to be with the Brotherhood.
Let go. We're wasting our time here.
Bilge rats, the lot of them. Not even fit for the apostles. Brotherhood always lets their knives do the talking. If there'd been any doubt of what you are, lass, that fight sure cleared it up.